Hi guys, I'm Patrick from Rocky Mountain Style. We're shooting live today from my driveway. We were expecting a big snowstorm last night. Didn't quite pan out, we only got maybe 2 inches, but that's still good enough to try out these new all-weather duck boots from Huckberry. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I really appreciate you stopping by today and giving this video a click. If you liked it, smash that like button and consider subscribing to the channel for more content like this. I'd really appreciate it and it would really help us grow. First, let's talk about All Weather, the brand. This is another Huckberry in-house brand similar to Flint and Tinder, Proof, things like that. So their tagline is, "You asked, we delivered." So with a statement like that, I'm assuming at some point in the past, some of Huckberry's customers said, hey, we want, access to a slightly more stylish than what we're used to, all-weather line of boots, sandals, other products like that we can buy from a retailer and manufacturer that we trust. We know you stock quality products. We know you've built some quality products as well with some of your lines. So Huckberry, why not deliver some of that? So it looks like they were answering that call that their customers gave them. Of course, that's just speculation on my part, but hey, what can you really do? So getting into the duck boot itself, I think the first thing we need to acknowledge is the fact that these are pretty much spiritual predecessors of the LL Bean boot. You've seen these around, I'm sure. I saw a woman wearing them at the grocery store just yesterday, and I think they have one main issue. I believe many of you will agree with me on this, and that is that they are ugly. Now, I apologize if you like these, if you like to style them. They're just not for me. The huge molded rubber outsole and just sort of the way they come together is just not my style. And you can keep them. I do have a pair of knockoffs of these that I bought at Costco once many years ago. Yeah, I don't really like those. I bought them to shovel snow in just to keep my feet dry. So they are waterproof, so they've got that going for them. But if you can get the same things in a more stylish package, I think that's something that myself and many of you would be interested in. The duck boot is aiming to do just that, I'd say. And looking at the boot itself, I really think they hit it. Of course, with a function over form boot, you need to consider the function first, of course. And with these, that means waterproof, right? So these claim to be waterproof, just like the Bean boot claims to be waterproof. For now, we'll take their word for that. The construction, I think, and the colorways they use really makes this boot stand out a bit more than the Bean boot would, in a positive way. I like how the soles are more of a sneaker style rather than just a huge piece of molded rubber. I think that's pretty cool. The brown leather on the bottom is a much needed upgrade to the molded rubber, I'd say as well. So I won't belabor that point anymore. Point one, Bean boot ugly, duck boot not as ugly. I'd also say these duck boots are significantly more comfortable than the Bean boot. Now, like I said before, I've never worn the actual Bean boot, just a knockoff, but I can imagine they are significantly heavier, and with a molded rubber outsole like that, you're going to have a lot less flexibility. More like my mom used to call them clod hoppers, right? And that's pretty much what they look like and what they feel like to me. So these, though, they feel really more like walking in sneakers. Not exactly like sneakers. They are a little heavier. But the shape, they resemble more of a high top. And then the fact that they're using this particular type of a sole rather than a molded rubber outsole means they're going to be a lot more comfortable as well. Now back to the claim of waterproof. So are they actually waterproof? Now I didn't go stand in a lake or river or stream or anything like that to prove it. I did walk around in these in the snow a bit. I shoveled the driveway in them, and I didn't get any moisture in my feet whatsoever. So that's definitely a plus. And as well as you can see here from this footage I'm showing up here, they have this membrane on the inside that feels something like a Gore-Tex or some sort of very synthetic fiber that not only surrounds your foot on the sides, it's gusseted into the tongue, and then it goes underneath the insole there. So really your foot is wrapped in this membrane that won't let water in. So if you know anything about membranes and their construction, that's generally what they're meant to do, is let a certain type of liquid or other substance in one way, not out the other. So they're using that to their advantage here to keep water out. So are they really waterproof? I think there's no reason to dispute that claim based on the construction and the testing that I have done. Another thing to talk about real quick is the material of the outsole here. They are very soft, sort of pliable rubber on the bottom and give incredible traction on ice and snow. So I grew up in cold climates. I've lived in cold climates almost my entire life. I've walked on ice and snow and everything from flip-flops to dress shoes with leather soles to boots to snow boots to everything. And most of the time, it's hard to find a substance where you will not slip no matter what. These, granted, my testing is limited. I didn't slip a single time shoveling my driveway or walking into work or running errands down to Target, walking through the slushy parking lot. So I think that's pretty impressive and that's a pretty nice thing to see. So for me, for my own safety, I'm definitely going to be grabbing these when I need to go out during the winter and there's ice on the ground. And then the last question I would say that you have to answer is, are they worth it? So these retail for $188, a little bit higher than the Bean Boot. There are several varieties of the Bean Boot, taller, shorter, things like that. But overall, the range of Bean Boots is a bit cheaper than these. So what does the extra money get you? Styling, obviously, a little bit better comfort, and higher quality materials. Rubber outsoles, dime a dozen. Here, they're using more leather, which is more costly. Whether or not they're worth the price also depends a lot on what you're going to do with them. If you're buying them for bad weather, winter gear, things like that, like I would use them for, it really depends on where you live. So if you're living in a cold climate, perhaps you do need a pair of weatherproof boots. You could also use these walking down a shore if you're fishing, or if you like to walk through the woods in a warmer climate, or in the summer, going through creeks, going through marshlands, things like that. There's a lot of applications for them, but really consider how much are you going to use them before you buy a product like this, because really, because of the styling, you don't want to be wearing these just on a summer day, right? Or a fall day with a pair of jeans if you're going out to the store. And so really that's what it comes down to. If you need a pair of all-weather boots, do you like the styling and the extra comfort of these over saving a few bucks going with something like a Bean Boot? In my opinion, obviously, since I'm starting a style YouTube channel for menswear, I'd say the extra money is definitely worth it for me personally. And, you know, if you need something like this, I'd recommend picking them up, giving them a try, because you never really know until you try them, right? So thanks a lot. Have a great day, everybody.